Bear with me 1 second. All right, shalom to the elect. I want to start by giving all the praises, honor, and glory to whom it rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakodash. All right, what I said was all the praises, honor, and glory belongs to Yahweh, who is the Heavenly Father. All right, and the world ignorantly calls him God. All right, in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai. All right, and the world ignorantly calls Yahweh Shai Jesus. All right, but in the name of the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit in the Hebrew is Racha Kodash. Racha meaning spirit and Kodash meaning holy. Bear with me 1 second. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. All right, and this lesson is going into the tribe of Ephraim. Okay, you know, um, this lesson is going to the tribe of Ephraim, man. All right, and I had done a playlist. I'm putting together, Lord willing. All right, you know, I could finish it, but there's a playlist, just putting it together where you can see about the other tribes. All right, let me just pull it up real quick. It's on my channel. All you have to do is just click, go to my channel. All right. Willing Salakia. Okay. Go to the channel and then go to playlists. All right. And then right here, as GMS 12 tribes of Israel. So far, Zebulon and Issachar is done. All right. But Lord willing, all right, you know, I could finish it. All right. So you could just, when I'll put the rest of the tribes and the lessons I do here. Okay. But, this is just spirits on me to go through the tribes again. So I just want to go through it, man. Other brothers, can expound more. I'm just, just going through it. All right. So, yeah, man, but this lesson is specifically dealing with the 12 tribes of Israel, right? And it's like this lesson is specifically dealing with the tribe of Ephraim. All right, which the tribe of Ephraim are the so-called Puerto Ricans. See, so-called Puerto Ricans, so-called because, all right, they're not. That's just what society calls them. Okay, that's what people commonly know them as. But really, they're the tribe of Ephraim. They're Hebrew Israelites. All right, the tribe of Ephraim of the nation of Israel. You see, and that's biblical. So now I'm gonna go into it. This is starting in the book of Genesis, chapter 48, starting in verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, "Behold, thy father is sick." Joseph, all right, had two sons, all right, which are Manasseh and Ephraim. All right. Now Manasseh, okay, he became a tribe, all right, and they are the so-called Cubans. And I'll do that in another lesson, Lord willing. All right, but Ephraim, all right, are the so-called Puerto Ricans. Okay, and this is the lesson that and this tribe is the one that I'm dealing with in this lesson. Okay, now there are 12 patriarchs, and you can look that term up. The 12 patriarchs. Okay, but us so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Mexicans, Latinos, Native American, and Seminole Indians, we descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and then Jacob's 12 sons, which are also known as the 12 patriarchs. Okay, so yes, all right. So Genesis 48 and 1. All right, but you so-called Puerto Ricans, all right, you come to the tribe of Ephraim. All right, you're the tribe of Ephraim. So it says, and it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, "Behold, thy father is sick." So somebody told Joseph his father was sick. Joseph's father is Jacob, whose name was later changed to Israel. Right? It says, and he took with him his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. Verse 2, and one told Jacob and said, "Behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto thee." And Israel strengthened himself and sat upon a bed. Jacob, Israel, the same person. All right, but somebody told Jacob that his son was coming to him, and he sat up. Verse 3, And Jacob said unto Joseph, God Almighty appeared unto me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and blessed me, and said unto me, Behold, I will make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, and I will make of thee a multitude of people, and will give this land to thy seed after thee for an everlasting possession. Verse 5, here's the point. And now thy two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee in Egypt, are mine. Me when now referring says he said Ephraim and Manasseh are his. Me when it says are mine, what it means is they became tribes. Now there are two tribes of the nation of Israel. So as Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. Okay. So Ephraim and Manasseh, okay, are tribes of the nation of Israel. All right. Now I'm gonna jump down and I'm gonna come back to this verse, Lord willing, in the lesson, I'll do on Manasseh, Lord willing. All right. We're jumping down. All right. Genesis 48 and 12. Okay, but once again, all right, Ephraim is a tribe, just as Manasseh is the tribe. Okay. You see? 12 tribes of Israel. All right. Now, Genesis 48, jumping down to verse 12. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, Ephraim and Manasseh, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward, and picture this, okay? Joseph took Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, meaning Jacob's left hand, all right? And Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and he brought them near unto him. So picture you laying in the bed, and you have a son, and he has two sons, and your son brings one of his sons towards your left hand, and another one, and the other son towards your right hand, right? Verse 14, in Israel, Jacob stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head. See, who was the younger, right? Because out of Manasseh and Ephraim, Ephraim was the younger son. It says, in his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. Okay, now Ephraim, right? So pretty much what Jacob did, all right, he made like an X with his hand, with his arms, touching the young boys' heads, right? So his right hand was on Ephraim's head, and his left hand was on Manasseh's head. Okay, and it's spiritual, man. Okay, because like a brother pointed out, right? You look at uh um, Puerto Rico and Cuba on the map, and I'll come back. I'll explain it again in another lesson. But you in the Caribbean, right? You got Puerto Rico on the right, and what did Jacob do? He put his right hand on Ephraim's head, and Ephraim, the tribe of Ephraim, are these so-called Puerto Ricans, right? And his left hand on Manasseh's head, and the tribe of Manasseh are these so-called Cubans. So it's just spiritual how boom, it's just like um, it just matches up like that. Puerto Rico on the right, Cuba on the left here. Okay, okay, but give me 1 second. So now I'm gonna jump down right to verse 17. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. And Joseph, so it displeased Joseph that Jacob did that, right? And he tried to remove it. However, verse 18, and Joseph said unto his father, not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. Verse 19, and his father refused and said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. Yeah, Manasseh would be great, right? But truly his younger brother Ephraim shall be greater than he. In his seed, Ephraim's seed, shall become a multitude of nations. And that just means that they will be, the tribe of Ephraim, they will become many people, you know. They become so big, it's like there are many nations, man. All right. Okay. But all right, so moving on into the next chapter. All right. So now this is Genesis 49. All right. In verse 1 through 2, it says Israel's prophecy concerning his sons. Genesis 49 and 1. And Jacob called, let me just check some real quick. Okay. Glitched out last time. Genesis 49 and 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. All right. So verse 2, gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. So Jacob called his 12 sons together, right? And tell them what would really happen to their descendants, okay, which are us, the 12 tribes of Israel. We, once again, Jacob called his 12 sons, which are also known as the 12 patriarchs. All right, we descend from them. So Jacob really told his sons what would happen to their descendants in the last days. Okay, in the last days, all right. Somebody may think, well, this history you're going through, that's not the last days. All right, but yes, it is, because the last days started from when our Lord Yahweh Shai was on the earth. Hebrews 1, starting verse 1. Yahweh, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son. See? So when Yahweh Shai was on the scene, when he was on the earth, okay, that's when the last days have began. And that was like 2,000 years ago. And from that point up, this history that I'm going through has came to pass. All right. So let's go back to Genesis 49. And let's go to Ephraim now. Genesis chapter 49 and verse 22. Now it says Joseph is a fruitful bow. Somebody see, well, somebody don't think, well, it says Joseph is Ephraim. What happened? Joseph is interchangeable with Ephraim. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 32. And it says, of the children of Joseph, namely of the children of Ephraim, by their generation, all right, by the generations after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. All right. But you see, it's Ephraim here. Okay. So Joseph and Ephraim are interchangeable. All right. So when it says Joseph here is talking about the tribe of Ephraim, which are you so-called Puerto Ricans. Genesis 49 and 22. Joseph is a fruitful bow. All right. Now, and this is, these are one of the chapters we can use. I mean, it's like that we do use to identify who the real Israelites are. Okay. Fruitful bow. Now, it says fruitful here, bow, bun. All right. The Hebrew word for bow is bun. Okay. Strong's H1121, bun. It says son, grandson, child, member of the roots, but a son. Right. And then it says, Joseph, find it again. All right. Joseph is a fruitful bow. Okay. And fruitful, the Hebrew word here is parah. Fruitful. Okay. It says to bear fruit, be fruitful, branch off. Okay. And let me just see if I can find a definition of fruitful real quick. All right. Fruitful. Getting to the point of a person producing many offspring. Yeah. Because so-called Puerto Ricans, okay, all right, they love to make babies and have children. They love to reproduce. And you could just see it, being around Puerto Ricans. All right, a lot of times you could just see it, man. Especially the women. Oh man. All right, and, and there's this article I have found here. This website rather, right? Now it says here, fertility of the Puerto Rican origin population, mainland United States and Puerto Rico, 1970, by A.J. Jaffe and Ruth M. Cullen. Introduction, right? So I'm gonna just read this paragraph real quick. It has been commonly assumed that Puerto Rican women, both here on the mainland as well as on the island, mainland talking about the U.S. as well as on the island of Puerto Rico, have high fertility. Let's look that word up. Fertility. Okay. Fertility. Fertility. It says the quality of being fertile, productiveness, the ability. Here it is. The ability to conceive children or young. Yeah. All right. So to have children, it says. So it's been commonly assumed that Puerto Rican women, have high, pretty much are have high fertility rates. They're able to what? They have high ability to conceive children or young. All right. Says it is true that Puerto Rican women have a large number of children. If one looks only at the crude birth rate, all right, i.e., the average number of children born per 100 women aged 15 to 44, in fact, their fertility is significantly higher than that of the U.S. non-Spanish white population, and about the same as that of the non-Spanish Negro. However, as we demonstrate in this paper, the apparent higher fertility of Puerto Rican women is due to their age structure, as well as their socioeconomic status. Furthermore, on the island of Puerto Rico, the standardized number of children ever born is also close to that of the non-Spanish white women, although the crude fertility rate is significantly higher. All right, but nevertheless, they did say how they are have a high fertility rate. All right, you know. Let me see. Let me just see if I find anything else. Um, but yeah, all right. So Puerto Ricans, so-called Puerto Ricans, they're really, they just love to produce children. All right, and para means to bear fruit, be fruitful. To have children. Okay, and this is the term Ephraim, right? All right, let's look at it because we're just seeing uh para. Okay, but para. All right, and you look at and somebody says it says Joseph here, but it's talking about Ephraim. Look, even when you look at the term, the name Ephraim. All right, let's look it up. Ephraim, right? Parium, right? Now, right here, this okay, means I. Okay, Ephraim means I am fruitful. Okay, I. All right, the this is this symbol right here. This is a It means I. Just to prove that real quick, let's get Ruth chapter 1, verse 21. Right, and here it says, I went out full, and Yahweh has brought me home again empty. Why then call you me Naomi, seeing Yahweh had testified against me and Almighty had afflicted me? Because Naomi, her children had died, right? However, see, just proving it, see, because it said I went out full, right? Now, all right, Strong's H589 is what? Anya, okay? It says I, first person singular, so I, and we say para, fruitful. So Ephraim means I am fruitful. And then when we looked it up in Genesis 49, it said Joseph is a fruitful bow, okay? So it's talking about the tribe of Ephraim here in Genesis 49. So it says Joseph is a fruitful bow, meaning Joseph is a fruitful son. So-called Puerto Ricans, all right, are very fruitful. They love to have children. It says even a fruitful bow by a well, okay, because Puerto Rico, all right, is surrounded. The island is literally surrounded by water. All right, you know, just you drive along the outskirts of the island. I've been there myself. It's nothing but water, nothing but water. It's surrounded by nothing but water, man. All right, literally, Puerto Rico is water all over here, all over everywhere, man. Okay, so that's what it means. Even a fruitful bow by a well, right? And it says whose branches run over the wall. Okay, because you had this thing, right? So I can bear me 1 second. You had what is it? Just had it up here. Dang. Okay, here it is. So, you had this thing where the so-called Puerto Ricans, they came to America, to live a better life back in the 40s, right? Um, Bear with me 1 second. I'm just checking something. All right. So this is right here. Okay, it says Puerto Rican. So I typed it on Google. Puerto Rican migration to the U.S. in the 20th century. Puerto Rican migration to the United States in the 20th century was marked by a dramatic increase after World War II. And it says factors of migration was driven by a number of factors, including economic opportunities. The United States had a boom in industrial jobs after the war, and Puerto Rico's economy was struggling with poverty and high unemployment. Okay, so he's giving you a list of factors of why they came over here, right? It says affordable air travel. The availability of affordable air travel made it possible for Puerto Ricans to migrate to the United States in large numbers for the first time. Government encouragement. The Puerto Rican government encouraged migration to address overpopulation and to alleviate poverty. U.S. and Puerto Rican governments also worked together on Operation Bootstrap, a program to modernize and industrialize Puerto Rico's economy. War veterans, thousands of Puerto Rican war veterans returned home after serving in the U.S. military. Okay, but for the most part, they came to the America, right? In 1945, see, this is on the Library of Congress.gov. In 1945, there had been 13,000 Puerto Ricans in New York City. In 1946, there were more than 50,000. Over the next decade, more than 25,000 Puerto Ricans would come to the continental U.S. each year, peaking in 1953 when more than 59,000 came. By 1955, nearly 700,000 Puerto Ricans had arrived. So back then, 40s, 50s, they came to the U.S. And where scriptures say what? These branches run over the wall. You see? And up here, it says destination cities. Puerto Ricans settled in many cities, including New York City, and I see it all the time. So-called Puerto Ricans over there. And you have, a lot of Dominicans as well, too, but just concerning Puerto Ricans. New York City, Philadelphia, Chicago. I've heard there's Puerto Ephraim up there. Boston, Springfield, Massachusetts, and Newark, New Jersey. Okay. New York City became home to the largest Puerto Rican population, with nearly 70% of Puerto Ricans in the mainland living there at one point. All right. But that's in the scriptures, though. See? I guess this is a picture from back then. All right. You know. Okay. I believe it's Brooklyn Bridge. All right. I guess this is a family. Okay. You see, man. All right. And you might think like you're looking at so-called black people, but thing is, right? The scriptures talk about how Ephraim is like a cake not turned. You know. Let me get it. Ephraim is a cake not turned. This is Hosea chapter 7 and verse 8. Ephraim, he has mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. Because you look at a cake, right, and you bake it on, and you don't turn it, you don't flip it, right, and you cooking it. What? If you don't turn it, all right, and you're cooking it on the one side that's being cooked, you're gonna have it's gonna turn dark, okay. But on the side that's not being cooked, it's gonna be light. So that's a cake not turned. So Ephraim is like that. The tribe of Ephraim, so-called Puerto Ricans, they're like that. You have light skinned Ephraimites and dark skinned Ephraimites. Okay. Or in other words, you have light skinned Puerto Rican, so-called Puerto Ricans, and dark skinned so-called Puerto Ricans. And I've seen that while I was on the island there. The scriptures is true, man. Okay. You know, but yeah, they had migrated to the US. Okay. Um, you know, but Going back, and let me just get this fact real quick, right? Puerto Rico, the flag meaning, right? Now it says here, all right, this is on the uscourts.gov. The white star represents the Commonwealth. All right, the blue triangle represents the sky and the ocean. Check that out. So here it is. It already says the tribe of Ephraim is, pretty much a fruitful bow by a well. I mean, because it's surrounded by a lot of water. So even in even in even in their flag, it mentions the water. You mean to tell me that this ain't the tribe of Ephraim, right? It says, and the three sides of the triangle represents the three branches of the Commonwealth's Republican form of government. And it says the flag's design is based on the Cuban flag with the red and blue colors inverted. So this flag is based off the Cuban flag. All right. Let me just type that in just so you see it. Cuban flag. It's literally the same colors inverted, man, and a slightly bigger star, I guess. Okay, you know, and that's spiritual because Ephraim and Manasseh, like you know, Joseph brought both of them to Jacob together. All right, just showing that they both tribes, and they both are tribes of Israel. Okay, and yeah, so going back right to Genesis 49, it says here, right, Genesis 49 and 22. So we read that Joseph is a fruitful bow. So-called Puerto Ricans are very fruitful. They like to have children, like babies, and even a fruitful bow by a well. They dwell the island. They're surrounded by water. The island is surrounded by water. The island of Puerto Rico. Branches run over the wall. Back in the 40s and 50s, so-called Puerto Ricans had came to America for a better life. Verse 23: the archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. Yeah. Now, getting this right. The archers are talking about the Spaniards. All right, those conquistadors. Those conquistadors in Spanish means conquerors. Okay, you know. Now, we have something called pre-colonial Puerto Rico. Okay, now these Spaniards, man, and the thing is, right before Puerto Rico was named Puerto Rico, all right, it was called Let me just highlight it. Borican. So they called it Borican. So that's really what the island is originally named, the island of Borican. Okay. All right, but it says pre-colonial Puerto Rico. And by the way, you so-called Puerto Ricans, you also know so-called Puerto Ricans are also known as the uh, Taino Indians. All right. However, I'm gonna just read this, jump around a little bit. So it says pre-colonial Puerto Rico. The settlement of Puerto Rico began with the establishment of etc. I read that part. It's a different part. All right, next, jump down. Okay. So at the time of Columbus's arrival, an estimated 30 to 60,000 Taino Amerindians led by the cacique Chief Aguibana inhabited the island. Okay, now Aguibana, right, is this guy right here, right? And he was here when the conquistadors to um came to Puerto Rico. All right, and this thing is, I believe the Elder Kazak, his channel name is Yahweh Shah, is coming back. Uh, it was Aguibana the second or first, Salakia. All right. Um, let me see. Slovakia. All right, this is the same person. Okay, so this person right here, okay, says Guebana. All right, I'm gonna read it right here. Aguibana the second, born Guebana, and also known as Aguibana el Bravo, English Aguibana the Brave, was one of the two principal and most powerful caciques of the Taino people in Borican. All right, because and you wondering like if you're wondering, So so-called Puerto Ricans and Taino people, it's the same person, it's the same people, all right, which really, they're Israelites. And they came over here. The scriptures talk about in 2nd Edges 13, verses 40 on down, how the northern kingdom came to the western side of the world. All right, it started inhabiting, the continents on the western, the continents, the islands on the western side of the world. All right, on the western hemisphere. All right, you know. So it says here was one of the so this guy Agubana II, he was one of the two principal and most powerful caciques, which means chief of the Taino people in Boracay when the Spaniards first arrived in Puerto Rico. On November 19th, 1493, Agubana II led the Tainos of Puerto Rico in the Battle of Yaguecas, also known as the Taino Rebellion of 1511, against Juan Ponce de Leon and the Spanish conquistadors. All right. Um, So here's his introduction. Guaybana, also known as Aguibana II, was the brother of the great cacique Aguibana, and lived with his tribe in Guainia, located near a river of the same name on the southern part of the island. The name Aguibana means the great son, and he is often appended the second to differentiate him from his brother Aguibana, the other great cacique in Puerto Rico. At the time of the arrival of the Spanish, all the other caciques and Indian military chiefs were subject to and had to obey Aguibana, even though they governed their own tribe. So this person, the second, okay, I guess so they were brothers. And by the way, one time I was driving and on the highway, and I had leave. I don't know if this is the one I had seen. If this is on the highway, so like if I'm wrong, but I had seen something. I'm not pretty sure if it was this, but it might have been. It looks very familiar. Okay, and this is Aguibana. All right, now Aguibana. This is the you know, it says here, he was the chief of the Taino people when the Spaniards got there, right? But he had a brother, okay, Aguibana the second, right? And the point is, right, you know, so the point is, right, as other Khazak brought out, when you look at this statue of Aguibana the second, also known as El Bravo, all right, this is him. But what do you notice? Take a second to look at this. Now, if you've seen it, he has fringes. Okay. I don't know if these are fringes up here, but it's fringes on his attire. Okay. And the scriptures talk about that's a custom of the Israelites, man. Numbers 15 and starting verse 37. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of the garments throughout the generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. All right. So it's already a part of our customs, all right, to wear fringes. All right. And what do the fringes really mean? Numbers 15:39, and this shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of Yahweh and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which you used to go a whoring, that ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your power. So the fringes are to remind you, of the commandments of the Lord and to do it. All right. Now you look at brothers out there on the fringes, that's really what the fringes are, all right, mean, but this will actually mean something. It's not just a look, all right? But this is the custom of the Israelites, it's a law, all right? And it just shows you that, you know, these people that, these so-called Puerto Ricans are Hebrew Israelites, okay? This is the Israelite custom, all right? Now, going back, history of Puerto Rico, all right? So it says down here, right? On September 24th, 1493, Christopher Columbus set sail on a second voyage. Christopher Columbus he had 4 voyages with 17 ships and 1,200 to 1,500 soldiers from Cadiz. On November 19th, 1493, he landed on an island, naming it San Juan Bautista, in honor of St. John the Baptist. The first European colony, Puerto, was founded on August 8, 1508, by Juan Ponce de Leon, a lieutenant under Columbus, who was greeted by the Taino Cacique Aguibana, that's the older brother, and later became the first governor of the island. Right. And when you look on Puerto Rico, right, you look at Puerto Rico, they Puerto Rico has you literally have um you have a town or a city called Ponce, and uh you literally have a town, just showing you how Esau's affected our people, man. When you drive to Puerto Rico, you have this on the highway, literally. Okay, on that one I saw it wasn't red, yeah, because coming from that side is gray. All right, but literally put that it's a town named after Ponce de Leon, which was a Spaniard, man. See, Ponce de Leon, he was a Spaniard. Okay, and his grave is over there. All right, okay, this is grave, man. All right, see the Spaniards, but see the Spaniards actually came, you know, to this island, and it ain't. And this, by the way, is in a cathedral, and Ephraim is heavily affected with this, man. This whole Roman Catholic stuff and all of that, and statues and all of that, man. All right, but regarding Juan Ponce de Leon, right? There's he has a grave over here, okay, and it just shows you that how the Spaniards and everything. They look, and just in general, the Spaniards came to the western side of the world. That wasn't just for nothing. That didn't happen by chance. All right, the Lord had it set up like that, okay, because these scriptures and prophecies had to come to pass. All right, for prophecy to move forward, because you can't jump over prophecies. It talks about that in Second Ezra 4. He does not stir. He does not. Roughly paraphrase. He don't stir one until the said measure be fulfilled. Okay, but they buried this bastard over here, man. All right. Now it says, back. Ponce de Leon was actively involved in the Hatue or Yaragua massacre in 1503 in Hispaniola, which is present-day Dominican Republic. In 1508, Sir Ponce de Leon was chosen by the Spanish crown to lead the conquest and slavery of the Taino Indians for gold mining operations. And by the way, Puerto Rico, okay, it's a beautiful island, man, I'm telling you. But the name Puerto Rico, right, means rich port. Puerto meaning port and Rico meaning rich. Puerto Rico's name means rich port in Spanish. The name comes from the island's history of being a hub for gold and other treasures from the Americas on their way to Europe. Okay, says initially Columbus christened the island San Juan Bautista. The name was soon changed to Puerto Rico, a rich port, when the Spaniards realized the impressive amount of gold found in its rivers. Right now, it's going back. Okay, and all right. So reading here says the Spanish settlers established the first encomienda system under which natives were distributed to Spanish officials to be used as slave labor. On December 27, 1512, under pressure from the Roman Catholic Church, Ferdinand II of Aragon issued the Burgos Laws, which modified the encomienda system into repartimento, aimed at ending exploitation. The laws prohibited the use of any form of punishment toward the indigenous people, regulated their work hours, pay, hygiene, and care in order for them to be catechized. All right. Catechism is a summary of exposition of doctrine and serves as a learning introduction to the sacraments traditionally used in catechists or Christian religious teaching of children and adult converts. All right. But it says in 1511, the Taínos revolted against the Spanish. Cacique Yeroyoan, all right. It says, was it say he was a chief famous for ordering the drowning of Diego Salcedo to determine whether the Spanish were gods. It says it's planned by Aguibana II. All right, Cacique Yeroyoan is planned by Aguibana II, the guy we just showed with the statue. Ordered his warriors to drown the Spanish soldier Diego Salcedo to determine whether the Spaniards were immortal. After drowning Salcedo, let me just see that real quick. Let me just let me let me just see. All right, says here some brief history on that. Euro Yoroyoan was a Taino cacique chief famous for ordering the drowning of Diego Salcedo. All right, says Diego Salcedo was a semi-legendary Spanish conquistador who is said to have lived during the colonization of the Americas. According to legend, his death at the hands of the indigenous Taino people ignited the Taino Rebellion of 1511. All right, but it says he was famous for, but this guy, Euro One, was a cacique, famous for ordering the drowning of Diego Salcedo to determine whether the Spanish were gods. He was the cacique of this place. I don't know how to say that, but it says which today lies in the region between Añasco and Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. His territory was marked by the natural boundaries of two rivers, Guar- Guaurabo, sorry from saying these names wrong, to the north, and Yaguez to the south. In 1511, Yoroyan and Aguibana II the Brave conceived a plan to find out whether the Spaniards were really gods. And they ain't, you know. Diego Salcedo was a Spanish soldier, was welcomed to Eurowan into his village and was offered to stay for the night. The following day, by Eurowan's order, Salcedo was drowned while attempting to cross. While on top of a Taino warrior, the Guauro River, presently called Rio Grande de Añasco, the body of Salcedo was watched for 3 days after his death. Upon confirmation of the mortality of the Spanish, Aguibana II ordered the Tainos to revolt. So you see, look, that just shows you that even though we got put down, our people still revolted, man. Our people was always had that you know spirit in them to fight back. You see, ain't that something? But it says so they put Esau to the test, you know, and Esau failed. So after John and South settled that they kept watch of his body, or you read that, says the revolt was easily crushed by Ponce de Leon. This mother effort right here. All right. This guy, Juan Ponce de Leon. This fucking bastard, man. All right. But it says the revolt was easily crushed by Ponce de Leon within a few decades. Much of the native population had been decimated by disease, violence, and a high occurrence of suicide. As a result, Taino culture, language, and traditions were generally destroyed and were declared to have vanished 50 years after Christopher Columbus arrived. Since the early 21st century, efforts have been made to revive and rebuild Taino culture. Right. But yeah, however, all right, that was. Let me just read a little bit about Juan Ponce de Leon. We saw his grave, man. Okay, arrival in a new world. Uh, so arrival in a new world in September 1493, some 1,200 sailors, colonists, and soldiers joined Christopher Columbus for his second voyage to the New World. Ponce de Leon, 19 years old, was able to get passage in this expedition with Nunez de Guzman's help as one of 200 gentlemen volunteers. Salaki. The fleet reached the Caribbean in November 1493. They visited several islands before arriving at their primary destination in Hispaniola and anchored on the coast of a large island native people called Borican. Borican in Spanish, the land of the brave Lord, which would eventually become known as Puerto Rico. This was Ponce de Leon's first glimpse of the place that would play a major role in his future. Historians are divided on what he did over the next several years, but it is possible that he returned to Spain at some point and made his way back to Hispaniola with Nicolas de Ovando. All right, Puerto Rico. As provincial governor, Ponce de Leon heard stories from island Caribs who had been captured when they raided Spanish colonies. They told him of gold on the neighboring island of San Juan, now Puerto Rico, which he had first seen as a member of Christopher Columbus's second voyage of 1493, describing a fertile land with much gold to be found in the many rivers. Inspired by the possibility of riches, Ponce de Leon requested and received permission from Ovando. All right, there was a Spanish soldier from a noble family and a knight of the Order of Alcantara, military order of Spain. He was governor of the Indies, Hispaniola from 1502 to 1509, sent by the Spanish crown. All right. So Ponce de Leon, after hearing about Puerto Rico having a lot of gold we found in the rivers and you know etc. Okay, he requested permission to go explore the island. All right. Um, it says the official settlement of San Juan by Spaniards is often dated to 1508, when Ponce landed in a caravel with about 50 men on the southern coast of the island. And guess what? The southern coast of the island. So, but there's documents in the archive of the Indies that he had led an expedition there with several hundred men as early as 1506 under orders by Governor Ovando to explore, settle, and conquer the island. And once again, all right, check this out. Where is Puerto Rico? Southern part of the island, man. All right. Look at that. The southern part of the island of Puerto Rico. Down here. All right. And ain't gonna be no, I'm just guessing because I never looked this part up before. This pond is called Ponce in Puerto Rico. It says Ponce was founded on August 12, 1692. It's the most populated city outside of San Juan. That's often called La Perla de Sur, the Pearl of the South. Okay. All right. But I mean, that's where he landed, so it makes sense where they called it. The fact it's called Ponce. Either way, all right. But it says this man. He said he led an expedition there with several hundred men. All right, and it said it's found in the archive of the Indies. All right, that Ponce that it came with several hundred men. All right, to explore, set under governors by Ovando, to explore, settle, and conquer the island. It says Puerto Rican scholar Aurelio Tio wrote books which contain much archival material concerning Ponce de Leon, including documentation he discovered in Spain and in Puerto Rico. And you can, let me just keep reading. All right. All right. So let me jump down. Because I'm just rushed, I'm not rushing through it, but I'm not rushing through it too much. But, I want it to be too long. At most at least 2 hours and some change, but not too extra long. All right. Now it says here, its earlier exploration had confirmed the presence of gold. So it had confirmed it, all right, and gave him a good understanding of the geography of the island. Ferdinand II of Aragon gave permission to Ponce de Leon for the first official expedition to the island, which the Spaniards then called San Juan Bautista. Ponce de Leon led a small exploratory party to Puerto Rico in 1508 that found placer deposits of gold in the western end of the island. Okay, so placer deposits, so like this. All right. It says this expedition consisted of about 50 men and one ship left Hispaniola on July 12, 1508. All right, jumping down. I'm gonna read this. Right, the expedition was deemed a great success, and Ovando appointed Ponce de Leon governor of San Juan Bautista. The appointment was later confirmed by Ferdinand II on August 14, 1509. He was instructed to extend the settlement of the island and continue mining for gold. The new governor returned to the island as instructed, bringing with him his wife and children. Now check this out, the rush of Spaniards, all right, from Hispaniola wanting to mine gold disrupted the way of life of the Taino native people. So these Spaniards, they, that disrupted it, man. Okay, that disrupted it, man. All right, but it says back on his island, Ponce de Leon parceled out the native Tainos among himself and other settlers using a system of forced labor known as encomienda. The Indians were put to work growing food crops and mining for gold. Ponce put those assigned to his personal encomienda Hacienda Grande to work searching for gold in the Toa Valley just east of San Juan. Many of the Spaniards treated the Tainos very harshly and death rates were very high. The demand for slaves kidnapped from other islands grew. So look, our people going through the same thing. Gad went through it up here in North America. All right. Central America, our people went through it. Hey, also North America, Judah, okay, so-called Negroes. Gad is the so-called North American Indians, okay. And all you had other tribes brought up here. They still, had went through it. For example, you had Benjamin and Levi coming to North America as well. All right. See, this ain't by coincidence. How is that the Esau coming from Europe, all right, came over here and did this to these people? This ain't by just no coincidence, man. All right, it was meant to be this way. The Lord had to take our people down, man. All right, you know, one because our wickedness, but also because of prophecy's sake. All right. It says this is all the part of the Lord's movie, but see, Esau got to pay for this, man. It says the demand for slaves kidnapped from other islands grew. By June 1511, the Tainos, pushed to the limits of their endurance, began a short-lived rebellion, which was forcibly put down by Ponce de Leon and a small force of troops armed with crossbows and arquebuses, meaning long guns. This, see, is Esau's blessing is a sword. You know, um, but pretty much you get it now. Let me get back to Genesis 49. It says, where is it? Okay, Genesis 49 and 23. The archers, the Spaniards, have sorely grieved him, grieved who? Ephraim, and shot at him and hated him. So pretty much those Spaniards that came to the island, you know, that's what it's talking about. Okay, those Spaniards, they came up against the tribe of Ephraim down there, the so-called Taino Indians. All right. However, they killed off a lot of them. Okay, they killed off a lot. You know, to where it pointed. Well, I forget the number, but it was a certain. But it was saying how it was only a certain number. I believe a couple hundred remaining. I believe a couple thousand remaining. All right. But however, look, verse 24. But his bow, a bow and strength, and his bow talking about the rod of testes. You know, meaning the Lord preserved their seed. Okay. Even though the Spaniards killed a lot of them, the Lord pretty much had it to where they were still having children. You see? So the Lord still kept them. You see? Even in the midst of this. It says, in the arms of his hands were made strong by the hand of the mighty power of Jacob. From thence the shepherd, the stone of Israel. Verse 25. Even by the power of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with the blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lieth under, blessings of the breasts and of the womb. And this is going into, um, you know, the island of Puerto Rico. Okay, and I'm gonna get a precept to this in the next one I'm gonna get. All right, Lord willing. Okay. All right. I'm gonna get this in a minute because this lets you know that it's talking about the island of Puerto Rico. It's talking about the different things, about the island of Puerto Rico. I'm gonna get a precept to this. Okay. Let me see. It's just about anything else I wanted to bring out. All right. Yeah, we can move on. All right. Because Puerto Rico, man, it has a lot. I ain't get to see. I was there. I ain't get to see, everything I wanted to see, but it has a lot, man. That and scriptures talk about how beautiful of an island it is. Okay. Um, Hosea chapter 9 and verse 13. Ephraim, as also Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place, and at Puerto Rico, It's a very pleasant place, man. Look, let me just show it. All right. So, yeah, you know, and especially coming down from America, man. You could, you go there, you can see, the water is blue, man, just naturally. It's beautiful. All right, but it's beautiful. Even this right here is old San Juan, I believe. Sorry if I'm wrong. All right, I believe it is. Okay, but it's beautiful, man. All right, literally, it's beautiful. Make you not want to come back. Okay, Puerto Rico is a beautiful island, man. But however, even on this beautiful island, you still got the curses rampant among our people. All right. I remember while I was there, I heard something about people burning someone alive or stabbing somebody. You know, so it's still nigga shit on the island. Okay, you know, but yeah, man. All right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get. So you see, it's a pleasant place, man. It's a very pleasant place. All right. It says has so look, Puerto Rico has many beautiful islands, including Vieques. It says Vieques is a tropical island with white and black sand beaches, a bioluminescent bay. I'm gonna get to that in a minute, and a wildlife refuge. All right, and it says Culebra, a popular island with world-renowned beaches. You can reach Culebra by boat or plane, but there is a $2 fee to visit. All right, Cayo Aurora, Gilligan's Island, a mangrove island with clear water, a sandy bottom, and shallow water for kids. You can only reach Cayo Aurora by kayak. Let me just see something. It is Gilligan's Island. Shit. Matter of fact, um, this makes me think. I'm just testing something out. Okay. All right, that was something. Okay, I thought it was, let's say Gilligan's Island. So I was just, suspecting of it. All right. But yeah, it's a pleasant place. Puerto Rico is a pleasant place. Now, go ahead. All right. And here it is. You notice how people being under the curses and everything. There's another way you know the Israelites, because here it is. It's your own island. But, Puerto Rico is a territory of the U.S. It's a territory of Esau, man. All right. See? But let me get this. Deuteronomy, the 33rd chapter. Right? And starting at verse 13. And it says, and of Joseph, he said, we know who understand now. It's talking about Ephraim. All right, well, this one, can go into Manasseh as well, but still talking about Ephraim, right? It says, and of Joseph, he said, blessed of Yahweh be his land. Okay, which is what? What is the tribe of Ephraim's land? Puerto Rico. For the precious things of heaven, for the dew, and for the deep that couches beneath. Yeah, man, once again, different things about the island. You have over there was the El Yunque rainforest. All right, it's a national forest, man. I visited this myself. Okay, it's a beautiful forest, man. All right, you literally have natural water slides in the island of Puerto Rico. I don't know if it's in El Yunque, but you actually have natural water slides, man. Okay, you see, all right, and this is all to show you that you so-called Puerto Ricans are Hebrew Israelites. It's about time for you to wake up. All right, you have that. All right, verse 14, it says, and for the precious fruits brought forth by the sun. All right. Uh, and you have, certain fruits that's native to Puerto Rico. And I have a list here. All right. say passion fruit, these different fruits and things like that. Mango, papaya, pineapple, coconut. And I was actually there in Puerto Rico, and they have a coconut tree, right? Let me see, man. Let's see, maybe the actual tree will pop up, right? There's an actual coconut. I was sent to a literal coconut tree, man. All right, you know, and they said how there was a man, you know, that would come over there to the tree, and climb up there and get the coconuts, grab it, and sell it and make a living off of just that. Apostle Tahar said when he was doing apostles were doing the breakdown of the 12 tribes, how the how pretty much you can live off the island just eating fruits and all that. You know, it is a very beautiful island, man. Okay, man, it's a beautiful island, beautiful women. All right, you know, well, it has different native fruits to it. All right, it says for the precious things put forth by the moon, and also too you have what the you have something called Bahia Bay. I'm type of Bahia Bay, Puerto Rico. Right, I'm typing what is Bahia Bay. Let me just type it in like this: Bioluminescent Bay in Puerto Rico. Okay, and about type what is a bioluminescent bay? It says a bioluminescent bay is a body of water where a high concentration of microscopic organisms called dinoflagellates, whatever you say that, create a natural glow when disturbed. Those organisms emit a blue-green light when agitated by a paddle, splash, or other movement. All right, bioluminescent bays are rare, and there are only 5 in the world, with 3 of them in Puerto Rico. Some of the best places to see bioluminescent blooming in Puerto Rico, these different places, but Puerto Rico has this because it's saying it's certain organisms in the water that pretty much give a blue light and everything. When they're when you splash the water and it's like microscopic organisms. It's saying that does that and you splash the water. You know, you paddle in the water. People go to these islands and stuff. For vacation, man. All right, and experience the island. All right, but okay, this is in the scriptures. These type of things about Puerto Rico is in the scriptures, man. All right, showing you that you so-called Puerto Ricans or Israelites. You see, and also you have too coqui frog. All right, this is an actual frog. Okay, that's native to Puerto Rico. So he says there's a species of frog native to Puerto Rico. Well, the coqui frog. And it makes a high pitched sound. Okay, I've heard it. Puerto Rico. All right, you could just type it on YouTube. I don't want to get copyrighted. All right, I guess this is how little the frog is, man. I guess it's a baby one. All right. Think about it. The Lord is so great, man. You think about it, the Lord made things from microscopic to this that's so small that it could fit on a penny. Okay. You know, look, and these animals have children. They're so small, yet they still have children. Okay. Check that out, man. All right. Even with the microscopic organism thing, little things you see on a microscope, they still multiply. All right. Lord knows about it all. Ain't that something, man? You know, and this is a literal frog, man. All right. But look. What does it mean? Because the way church has a meaning. All right. sounds like Koki, Koki, Koki. You could type it in, but all right. It says the sound of a Koki frog, a small tropical frog native to Puerto Rico, is a high-pitched Koki or Kogoki. Yeah, that one too. I heard that as well. It says call that has multiple meanings. Attracting females. The key part of the call is meant to attract females. Repelling other males. The ko part of the call is meant to deter other males and establish territory. Announcing themselves. Kokis sing to announce themselves as well. Expressing energy and pitch. Kokis sing to express energy and pitch. Minimize the competition. Kokis sing to minimize competition. You see? You let Esau do it, man. You know, they Esau destroy all of this, man. All right. Let me just see. Female, they make noises. Okay. So they do. All right, but that's the point. All right. You know. But Deuteronomy 33 and verse 15. And for the chief things of the ancient mountains, and for the precious things of the lasting hills, and for the precious things of the earth and fullness thereof, and for the good will of him that dwelt in the bush, that the blessing come upon the head of Joseph and upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. But once again, you see, we went into the island back in Genesis 49. It talked about the island and everything. The blessing. Read it again. Genesis 49 and 25. And by the power of thy father who shall help thee, and by the Almighty who shall bless thee with the blessings of heaven above, blessing of the deep that lieth under, blessed of the breast and womb. So it's letting you know, it's talking about Puerto Rico, man. It's letting you know, it's pointing out the island, Puerto Rico. Okay. Deuteronomy 33:17. His glory is like the firsting of his bullock, and his horns like the horns of unicorns. Okay. Bear in 1 second as I try to pull this up. Um, All right, it says, with them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth. All right, this goes into two things. Number one, Ephraim led the other tribes to Arsareth, which is the Americas. As you read in 2 Ezra 13 and 40, brothers have done lessons on that. Okay, because what? It says the ends of the earth, to the ends of the earth, and the ends of the earth is what? The Americas. All right, and number two, the second meaning is a lot of Ephraimites, so-called Puerto Ricans, and a lot of Manassites and so-called Cubans are teaching the word, right, to gather the tribes together, right? You'll see a lot of brothers in the camp, you know, a lot of you'll see various Ephraim and Manassite brothers, man, teaching the word. Okay, all right. So that's just going to the tribe of Ephraim, man. All right, so-called Puerto Ricans. It's time to wake up, man. All right, and really only the elect of Israel of the tribes is going to get this word. And after they wake up, then destruction is going to come. You see, because the majority of Israel ain't going to wake up. But Revelation 7 and 4, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. You see, and drop it down, verse 8, of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000, of the tribe of Joseph, Ephraim, okay, were sealed 12,000. All right, you know, so 12,000 so-called Puerto Ricans, so 12,000 out of each of the 12 tribes of Israel make up the 144,000. Okay, they're gonna wake up and they're gonna get delivered. All right, they're gonna wake up to the truth and they're gonna get delivered, man. Right. So amen. And once they wake up, the destruction is gonna happen, and it tells you that up here. All right. But yeah, just wanted to get into that real quick. And I'll do Vanessa maybe tomorrow or another day, or willing. All right. But yeah, man. All right. So with that, I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to whom rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, ever well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Shalom to the elect.